Well, hello, good people,
Drive
once
1
again.
mile, then turn right on Hooksett Road.
Let's mute that first. Let's get in a little bit. There we go. New maps for October 2025. And you're looking at the nuvi 50 right now. I haven't shown this one in a time, but yeah. The maps are available now at sat103.com. And something else. Oh, yes. I opened up a store. It's an eBay store. And brand new, so it's just Garmin stuff, obviously. Just, I may put other stuff in there, but I added some nuvis and some DriveSmarts and some memory cards and so on and so forth. Now, you know how in other videos you'll see people say, people ask me all the time, and then, which is completely made up. No one asks them anything. Well, in my case, some people will do ask, hey, what's your favorite model? That has been asked of me more than once. And I tell them, I was like, oh, well, I like the 2599 and the 65 DriveSmart and the 76 and the 66 DriveSmart and then other models, whatever we're talking about. But people really do ask me. It's like, what do you like? What's good? What's good, man? So I tell them. And that was part of my inspiration for actually opening up the eBay store thing. Now, to be clear, this eBay store that I'm talking about is not product from me personally. It's other sellers. I go in there, like for example, you'll go there and I have a section right now, anyway, at the time I record this, for Garmin nuvi, and you'll see some sealed, never used nuvi 30s, 40s, I think maybe a 50, I don't remember. And then in another category I have called bargain bin for people that want, it's like, I want cheap. Give me something cheap. Okay, fine. So I made a category called bargain bin where you can find units for under $20. Doesn't come with the power cord, just the screen, things like that. And I've made myself a personal rule already, which is I'm only going to list stuff for screens that actually work with my maps, which means you're not going to see any Street Pilots. I could put Street Pilots in there if I want to. I won't. They don't work with my maps. So I could say, oh, yeah, go ahead, go buy this. But then you go to install my maps on it, and it's like, oh, well, you're screwed. No, I'm not going to do that to you. So only models that work with my maps. However, even for the ones that I select, I am going to be choosy about that. For example, one that I won't list, I owned this model before, was the nuvi 2360. Not the 2460, that's the 5-inch model. The 2360 is a 4.3. That thing, did it work technically? Yeah, but it was something about it, just, I didn't like it. I just did not like that one. It's just too slow even for me. Even though it is newer than the 1390 and the 1490, there's just something about it I don't like. Even with Garmin issued maps, I was just not feeling that one. Really wasn't. So I am going to be. Oh, and another one is only because this is unobtainium, so to speak, the impossible sauce, if you will, are DriveLux models. DriveLux models, they are, as the title of the product would suggest, luxury. They are highfalutin, if you will. But the thing is, the DriveLux 50 is really no better than a DriveSmart 50 LMTHD. Yeah, it's got one of those mounts on it it's honestly nice. The mount that goes with the DriveLux is really, it's just ooh, this is so nice because it's a block that goes on the glass and you can just, I think it's actually mag mount. I think it is. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I never owned one. So they had the DriveLux 50 and the 51. Okay, fine. But the thing is, I know that, and would it work with my maps? Yeah. But to find, basically speaking, if you were to find a DriveLux, either a 50 or a 51, full in box with everything it needs, I think it's still $90, if not over 100. And I'm like, well, for that price, you could get a DriveSmart 65, which is like a 6.95, a 7-inch screen compared to the 5-inch screen of the DriveLux. Not true, you don't get the mag mount with it, but it's so much more readable, and it's almost a 2-inch increase in screen size. So I'm like, yeah, DriveLux is nice, but ooh, rough. Oh, another one I won't list is the like the 3760. I think I put this on my community page. That one has a tendency to start separating. The screen starts to separate under the capacitive screen cover, and there's nothing you can do about it. It like bubbles up and stuff like it, just due to age. It's the way that they made it, because the thing about like the 3760, 3790 is it's really super ultra thin, which it was originally a selling point. But over the years, what happened is that, as people found out, it was made too thin. So what happened is that heat would generate under the screen, because screen generates heat, and then the adhesive used to attach the what do you call it, the digitizer, I think is what it's called, started to separate. Yeah, the screen technically still works, but it looks terrible. So it's like, I'm not listing that. I won't do it. Whereas something like this, the nuvi 50 and the 40, the only thing that ever goes wrong with these things, and this is absolutely true, is that sometimes the power button on the top left, because of weaker plastics made at the time, sometimes it'll crack off. But it doesn't make it unusable. You could still, put your finger inside where the power button was, turn it on. It will still work. The screen will still work. The speaker will still work. Everything will still work. That's good. That's very good. But when you have something like a 3790 where the screen starts to separate, eventually what that means is that the touch response will fail, which makes it unusable. We can't have that. This one, yeah. This is why I say the essentials models, 30, 40, 50, 42, 52, 44, 54. I think that's all of them. Yeah. Of which I own every single one of those. Fantastic. Especially for the 50. So readable. I've made videos on this before, so I won't rehash that, but it's so readable, it's so legible. It's one of the matte screens that's actually truly daylight readable. If you compare this to like a 2597, 2597 is a decent model. Don't get me wrong, that's a matte screen model. But the screen brightness of this 50 is so superior compared to that of the 2597. Which is why I always recommend the 2589 and the 99, because that has a capacitive and it is on the level of brightness that this one is. A little better, actually. And you get the portrait or landscape view mode also, and you get the HD if you're in the reception area for the HD traffic stuff. Anyway, well, for LMT HD models. So, yeah, I'm going to be choosy about what I put in my eBay store. So when you go look at that, I also made sure I think I might have mentioned this already, but I'm going to throw in a bunch of memory cards just because, and I made a little note. I hope it shows up. I put a little thing that said ****. Remember, this will not support more than 32 gigabyte tops. Because some of the listings you'll see, they say, oh, well, you can do 8 gigabyte, 16 gigabyte, 32, 64. Well, anything over 32, 64 and up, it won't work on this. You can do 8, 16, and 32. The only two I would actually recommend are 16s and 32s. You're not going to worry about whether you're going to fit maps or not with a 16 or 32. You are fine there. Totally fine. With 8 gigabyte, maybe. Probably not for a long time, but still, maybe. And also with 8 gigabyte memory cards, who knows when that actually was made? It might be as old as 6 to 10 years old, even if it's in the original blister pack. Whereas 16s and 32s, especially the 32s, were probably manufactured this year. And that's important because, why? Because of the contacts. You want something with fresh contacts on it so that they last the longest amount of time before they start to tarnish. Eventually they're going to tarnish, it's going to occur. But you want to give yourself the longest period you can before they even think about starting to tarnish. So that's why 32, yeah, that's totally the way to go. So yeah. All right. So like I said, new maps, October. You're seeing it right now. USA, October 2025. USA is the only one I do. And in the store. And the last thing I'll say about the store is, I'm going to add things, possibly remove a few things. I'm going to try to keep that updated, at least on a weekly basis. I'm going to try to anyway. It depends what shows up on eBay, because there's thousands of Garmin listings, thousands. And but I have to think about it and say, okay, what's the best for you guys that watch this channel? Oh, there's one other thing I'll say. One other thing I'm not going to list, just in case anyone asks. I'm not going to list traffic cords like TA20s, GTM36, GTM60. They're out of production, all of them. And it's one of those things where most people, those who do use FM traffic, live in areas where they get coverage. Like me, like in Dallas-Fort Worth area, or Chicago, or Tampa, or Boston, or Los Angeles, or something like that. But there's a whole bunch of you that live nowhere near a major metro that have no use for those traffic cords at all. There's that. And furthermore, when I examine the listings of traffic cords available, spotty at best. They are out there, this is true. But I was looking at the listings and as a matter of fact, I'll tell you something that I see in the store administration that you won't. When I'm looking for things to list on my eBay Ambassador store there's actually listings where it will say a little red mark that says not recommended. For whatever reason. It could be a low seller rating, a high return rate. It could be any number of reasons. But eBay will do that for me. They'll actually say, oh, you're searching, don't list this. I would not recommend you list this on your store. I still could if I wanted to. But I take eBay's advice on that one and I don't. And I saw the most of those for traffic cord listings, so that's not going on the store. I mean, if you really want it, tell me. I'll list them, but I will say it with a big old asterisk on that and say, eBay said I really shouldn't list this on my store. So, but anyway, that's that. So that's it. Yeah, new maps, download, totally free, as always. And new store, so check it out. Oh, yeah. Okay, actually, sorry, I keep thinking of new things to say. This will be the last thing I say. If you do have suggestions for what I should be listing in the store, could be specific models of nuvi, as long as it's not the stuff that's like Straight Pilots, because that won't run with my maps. Or even really old nuvis like the 300 and 360, 370. I can't list those either. or the 680 or the 660, I can't list those because they don't work with my maps. It's got to be nuvi 200 up type of thing. But anyway, if you have suggestions for that, or for something I didn't think of that's GPS related, I just thought of one. Mounts. I didn't put mounts in there yet from Archon. Oh yeah, I gotta put those in. Like the friction mount and the that really nice one that's like $15. I got two of them from Archon. I don't remember the model name. Drat. I gotta put that in. Anyway, I'll see you all later.